And welcome to I Want My Angst TV Reviews. I'm Sarah, and today we are going to be talking about Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Now, let me first say that going into this movie, I knew nothing about it.
What white nonsense is this?
I can't even pretend like I did. I've heard it was coming out. I knew it was a queer story, and that's kind of where that ended. Now, we know there has been an iffy history of stage to screen, of transcribing a fantastic stage musical and turning it into a film. It doesn't always work. You can't always capture the magic. Now, I can't say I ever saw this musical on the West End, but this movie is fantastic. And to back up just a little bit, Everybody's Talking About Jamie is based on a true story. It's based off of the documentary Jamie, Drag Queen at 16. The documentary tells a story about Jamie Campbell, a boy who wanted to become a drag queen and eventually does with his persona, Fifi LaTrue. The musical takes us on this whimsical journey of heart and love and just figuring out who you truly are and who you want to be. It's not necessarily a new story, but it's a true story, and it is a great coming of age story.
Me? What do you want to be? A performer? For a minute there, I had such high hopes for you.
I absolutely loved how the music was used throughout the film. It did exactly what a musical is supposed to do, which is enhance and progress the story. Very much moments of when words are no longer enough. I loved the visuals. I love how we had certain montages for scenes at one point. And it wasn't just people planted or dancing and singing directly to the camera. The song was doing the storytelling of what you were seeing visually. And I thought that was incredibly smart in how to adapt a stage to screen musical.
Mom, do you ever wish I were just normal?
No. Never.
I thought the acting was incredible. And the mom, who is, oh man, I'm gonna butcher this, who's played by Sarah Lancashire, please don't come for me, was so heartbreaking and beautiful. And there's a song towards the end that's like the 11 o'clock number called He's My Boy, and she just kills it. If you cry on mom numbers or like dad things, like this is gonna get you. So just, be prepared for that. Max Harwood, who plays Jamie, is fantastic. He's so charming. He has such a lovely voice, and I loved him as Jamie. I know that John McCrae originated him on the West End. If you don't know who that is, I promise you do. If you saw Cruella, you'll recognize this face. And John does get to play a role in this film, which brings me to some of my favorite moments and numbers that actually had nothing to do with Jamie and his story, but more so about the history of drag and why it's so important. Myself, I'm a huge fan of drag queens. I'm a huge fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. And a lot of people, I think, have forgotten what drag is about and what even brought drag into being. And it's not just fluffy, fun, quippy, witty one-liners where people can read you to filth, even though that is always a good time.
Reading is the real art form of insult.
Drag is about self-expression. It is a rebellion. It is a riot, a fight for equality. And if you know anything about queer history, we know that drag queens and trans women had such a huge part getting us to where we are today. And one of my favorite characters in the film is Hugo Battersby, played by Richard E. Grant, who most recently played old Loki in the Disney Plus series Loki. He has a couple of my favorite numbers of the show. The first one is when Jamie walks into his drag store and he goes down memory lane watching VHSs of his younger self and the plague of the AIDS epidemic that happened. And that to me was such an incredibly powerful number that teaches you a lot. And it's a heartbreaking story, and it is a story of choosing to live and continue to teach the younger generation what it means to be who you are and to fight for it.
Stop waiting for permission to be you.
Now, he also has another number like that later on that helps Jamie empower himself into ignoring his bullies, ignoring the worst of the worst, and getting out there and being who he wants to be and following his dreams. And I personally just love those kinds of numbers in musicals, and I find them so inspiring. Now, to talk about the music a little bit more, weirdly enough, as much as I enjoyed the numbers, I really didn't find them memorable. And I mean, when watching them, they were visually stunning. They helped tell the story. They were powerful at times. But I didn't leave this movie humming them. And normally that would bother me, but actually this time around it doesn't. I'm totally okay with it.
I don't know who I am. You're 16, of course you don't.
For me, everybody's talking about Jamie is what the prom wishes it was. If you saw my prom review, you know that I did not enjoy that whatsoever, at all. But this movie, aces. I am so glad that this movie didn't get pushed to the wayside. It absolutely could have been shelved forever, because this movie was originally produced by Fox, and we all know Disney bought Fox. And this is kind of a really and this is kind of an incredibly progressive film for Disney to put out. So I'm really glad, and I say that because Disney does little things but not big things, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm glad that Amazon bought this movie and is putting it out for all to see, because everyone should be talking about Jamie.
If I don't say it enough, you're the best friend a boy who sometimes wants to be a girl could ever wish for.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm Sarah. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think about Everybody's Talking About Jamie, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any more angsty videos. Until next time.